Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your college. Sorry. Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your college basketball. Big slate of games for Saturday, the 24th of January, 2026. And we've got all the ranked games for you today. I think it's 21, might even be 22 games, but we've got them all for you. So you got your one-stop shopping. Don't forget, we also cover all the NBA, all the NHL every day. No matter what, you can count on us to get the rundown in each sport. So don't forget, if you want in our top plays, though, we like all these games. These are like leans, 1-unit plays. But if you want the big units, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-unit plays, how do you do it? You go right here, docsports.com/Craig Arun. Get the 2-week pass. I'm sorry, the two for one pass. So it's 2 week passes.
Yeah, customer service.
So it is 2 weeks, but it's a week of us each. So it's 1 week of plays. So you get today's. I'm going to have a 3-pack in college hoops today. IC's going to have a top play as well. So you're going to get 4 plays today plus 6 more days of winners. Go over here, right here, docsports.com/Craig Arun. You will not find that anywhere else on the website. You have to use this link. Okay, college hoops. Starting us off, Duke hosting in Wake Forest. Duke's favored by 18.5, total win 150.5. Wake Forest needs a signature win. Is there a chance they get the win here?
So you're saying there's a chance. Duke won 93-60 last year, so they beat this absolute snot out of them. Okay, so Duke comes into this contest rolling, right? They're 17-1. This is a team that is Duke's number 5 in the nation, top 10 in defense, top 10 in offense. It's a team that beat Stanford by 30 on the road, which we predicted. We said they're going to beat the snot out of them on the road. And it's a team that comes back home where they beat SMU by only 7. Wake Forest comes into this game losing to SMU by 12 points. It's a contest where they scored 79 points. Wake Forest doesn't have a bad offense. They're top 100 in offense. They have a top 50 defense. I was very curious to see this total sitting at about 150.5. What Wake Forest does well, Craig, is their defense. They're top 50 in defense. They are able to slow the pace down when they won a game against Florida State. What was the score? 69-68. That game against West Virginia, top 60 team, 75-66. I think Wake Forest locks down on defense, and I like the under. I mean, there's a big shift between Duke. Duke just played Stanford, who is a top top 100 offense, and a top 70 defense. Wake Forest defense is much better, and they're actually top 20 in turnover margin on the defensive side. Give me the under 155.5. Craig. Nebraska, the 7th team in the land, who is 19-0 and 8-0 in the Big Ten. He's facing Minnesota, who is 10-9 and 3-5 in the Big Ten. Nebraska comes into this contest as a 5-point favorite on the road on a total of 139. Who do you like?
This is a danger spot for Nebraska. Why? They have number 2 Michigan or number 3, depending on where you look at it, on deck. So yes, are they the better team? Yeah. Are they they're not a team that, unlike Michigan and Illinois, that's talent level, like kind of a bunch of pros there. This is not that type of Nebraska team. So they get it done by team play. I think this is a spot they get caught looking ahead. Give me Minnesota plus all the points here. I think they're a live underdog. I'm going to sprinkle on the money line as well. I just think it's a very dangerous spot for Minnesota. Next game, Maryland at Michigan State. Michigan State's playing great basketball right now. Are they good enough to cover an 18.5-point line? That is a big question for UIC. Total 140.5. What do you like?
Michigan State beat them 58-55 last year. You got to go back to 2001 before you saw Maryland win a game straight up in this contest. It's going to be a great game. Maryland comes into this game top 140 offense, top 105 defense. They faced Illinois, who just lost to by 19 on the road. That's a pretty bad loss. This total came in at around 140. Look, I think Maryland has some bite, but Buzz Williams just has not been able to get this team to kind of, buy in, if you will. I think it's also his first year. Kevin Willard is dominating over at Villanova. He's just not doing well. Michigan State, of course, comes in off of a nice win against Oregon, 68-52. They beat Indiana, 81-60 as well recently. And his total came in at 140. I like the under here. I think Michigan State locks down on defense. I think Maryland's defensive game last game, when they gave up 89 points on the road, I think they'll play much better defense. I like the under 140 between Maryland and Michigan State.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on all the great content we have here at Doc Sports.
Craig, North Carolina, the number 22 team in the land, is on the road against Virginia, the number 14 team in the land. North Carolina is 15-4, 3-3 in the ACC. Virginia is 16-2, 5-1 in the ACC. Who do you like?
Yeah, to me, this is a big test for UNC. Last time they went on the road, they went to the West Coast. They lost to Stanford and Cal, both as favorites. the one positive here is they don't have to go out west. It's not like the far travel, and like this is a much closer, easier travel, and more like the ACC that they're used to. Obviously, very familiar foes being the ACC, both of these forever. I do like Virginia. I think they're a very fun team to watch. This is not the Tony Bennett years where they're playing in the 50s and 60s and like not the most fun game to watch. This is a Virginia team that's scoring in the mid-70s almost every game, and they have been on a roll, including a great win at Louisville, 2 back, nice win at SMU. Now, is this a letdown? I think possibly. I know you don't get true letdowns against North Carolina and Duke, but I think it's one of those games where you just take a deep breath like, hell, we're really good. We beat SMU and Louisville, and all of a sudden you come home and you think the fans will take over. Give me North Carolina plus the points. Now, Tony, I will say this. Hubert Davis is not one of my favorite game coaches. He's got great talent, has had great talent, hasn't always got it done when it comes close games. But you're getting 7.5, so even if it's even 7 out there, I think it's enough to get the cover here for North Carolina. Next game, Vandy at Mississippi State, another noon game. Vandy's favored by 7.5, total 160.5. All of a sudden, Vandy's like 2 or 3 in a row here. Just the other day, it seemed like they were 16-0. Now they're 16-3. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean that'll be good for them long term. But guess what? They started conference play, and now they're 3-3. They lost badly to Arkansas, 93-68. They lost to Florida at home. They lost to Texas. It's a team that I think people are starting to figure them out and how to beat them. And I think Texas is the first team that figured out how to beat them. Okay. So you combine that with now they're on the road against Mississippi State. They come in and this is a game that easily Vanderbilt can lose. Mississippi State, of course, has lost 4 in a row themselves. They lost to A&M, Mississippi, lost badly to Alabama and Kentucky. But I think what happens here is Vanderbilt is mad. Vanderbilt comes off its first, losing 3 in a row is bad. They come off their worst loss of the year to Arkansas in a game where they were down 35-46 at the half, and then the wheels fell off. I think Vanderbilt bounces back in a big way. I'm going to take Vandy minus the 8. All right, Craig, Clemson, number 18 team in the land, facing Georgia Tech. Clemson is 16-4, 6-1 ACC. Georgia Tech is 11-8, 2-4 in the ACC. You got Clemson coming in as a 7.5 road chalk. Who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, the win, both of these teams have played NC State to success and not success. NC State beat Clemson last time out, about 3-4 days ago. That was a great win by NC State. Georgia Tech beat them a week ago. Now they haven't played since at NC State. So it's kind of funny that both these teams have actually played them last game. I like Georgia Tech. I think that confidence building win on the road against NC State and Will Wade team that I think is pretty good. Not unbelievable, but good. I think this is a good spot for Georgia Tech to at least cover here. I think it's going to be within the number at the worst. Maybe even they have a chance to win this game outright with the plus 7.5. Next game, Villanova at UConn. You talked about it, Kevin Willard. I did not see this coming. I thought if he maybe got 20 wins this year, he'd be doing well. He's 15-4. Now they face the number 2 team in the nation in UConn. UConn's favored by 10.5. Total 136.5. No disrespect. That's a lot of points, though, to be laying against a team that only has 4 losses at this point. What do you like?
Villanova comes into this contest, Kevin Willard at 15-4. This is a team that beat Georgetown by 15 points last time. In their last road game, they beat Providence by 6. They beat Marquette by 3. You have a Connecticut team that rolls in here, beating Georgetown by 2 points on the road. And they beat Seton Hall by 5. They've had some close games. I think they're going to be excited to come back home and try to beat the snot out of somebody. The only problem with that is Villanova, obviously beating Georgetown. Villanova is a top 40 defense as well. But Villanova did struggle against St. John's. They struggled against a Creighton here. It's going to be a great game because this is the first time these two teams are going to hook up too. And this is the type of stuff that our boy, Dan Hurley loves to get up for. He absolutely loves to get up for these type of games, especially when he faces a coach for the first time. I'm going to surprise you here. I'm going to lay the points here. I think Hurley gets up. I think they've had some really close games the last 2 games, and I think he's going to coach them up big time. And I think Connecticut's really ticked off that they played such a close game at Georgetown. It's not a good look. Connecticut shot 5 for 26 from three-point land that game. They bounced back. Give me Connecticut minus the 10.5. All right, Craig, we have Georgia, the Bulldogs, my neck of the woods, as they face Tejas, known as Texas. 16-3 team overall, 4-2 in the SEC. Texas 11-8, 2-4 in the SEC. Texas coming in as a 2.5-point chalk, an unranked team that's favored over the ranked team on a total of 168.5. Who do you like?
I mean, Texas has been really good. I mean, they had a chance to beat Kentucky in that game as a 7.5-point favorite. They lost. It had kind of a letdown after beating Vandy. a couple back. They lost to Texas A&M in a close game. That's a big rivalry game, of course, by 4. They bounced back against Kentucky, played really well, even though in a loss. I mean, they also beat Alabama 4 back. This is a very good Texas team. I think they take care of business. I also think the over is a live spot. This Georgia team can score some points. I mean, they've scored last time out just 74. Time before that, 90, 95, 75. So also had 104 back there against Auburn. So the over and Texas, I think I would lean to Texas being the stronger of those plays. Next game, West Virginia at Arizona. Arizona, big favorite here, minus 17.5, total 144.5. Arizona, nice win against my Bearcats. They played – I watched that game. They played subpar the first half, and then, boy, when they turned it on, man, this team's pretty special. It's going to be a fun team to watch in the tournament. What do you like here? Big number here. Can they cover?
Arizona won 75-56 last time out. So West Virginia has a little bit of revenge. But Ross Hodge is a good coach in West Virginia. Seems like a lot of points. Maybe it's one of those Saturday bumps, if you will. It's because it's Saturday, it's just high. But West Virginia comes off a nice win against Arizona State on this Arizona road trip. They beat Colorado at home as well. That's because they lost their last game against Houston in a bad way. So, of course, they bounced back. Top 90 offense, top 60 or 50 defense. They have a pretty senior-laden team as well. You know, Arizona comes off this big win against Cincinnati at home, 77-51. I think they have a massive letdown here. I like West Virginia plus the points. I like Ross Hodge in his first crack at this team here. Don't forget, this team beat Kansas at home by 11 points. They're pretty good. I'm going to take West Virginia plus the 17.5. We're not going to be scared here. All right, Craig. Houston faces Texas Tech today or tomorrow. Houston is 17-1, 5-0 in the Big 12. Texas Tech is 15-4, 5-1 in the Big 12. Houston comes in as a 1.5-point road chalk, number 6 team in the land, facing the number 12th team in the land. Going to be a great game in Texas. Who do you like?
This is one of the games I had circled coming into the weekend. I think it's going to be the best game of the day. I think Houston is absolutely for real. I think they're even better than the last couple of years when we've seen these teams make deep runs. And it's a little different. They have a little more offense this year. They're still good on defense, but they're a little more offense. They're a lot younger at some key spots. So it's kind of fun to see that Sampson's doing a good job. It doesn't matter if he's getting transfers or, veterans, or he does it with rookies and young guys. I like Houston to get it done on the road here. I think it'll be the most impressive win on the year, potentially out there of anybody as far as road wins. I guess Texas Tech won at Duke, so you'd say that would be in there as well. But I like Houston here in this spot. Next game, we've got Virginia Tech at Louisville. Louisville minus 12.5, total 158.5. Louisville was as high as, I think, 8th, 9th in the country at one point. Now they're potentially almost going to slide out of the top 25. What do you like here in this matchup?
Louisville won 71-66 last time. You have a situation here. Virginia Tech is top 75 on offense, top 60 on defense. Mike Young, the coach here, is a team that he's really turned around this team. This team is 13-19 in the ACC, and he's had a great comeback this year. Beat Syracuse on the road, beat Notre Dame on the road. But this is a team. I mean, can you really, get the 12.5 done given how hot Louisville has been? I will tell you that this team comes out back-to-back wins. This team has a couple of young players. Louisville comes into this game beating Pittsburgh 100-59 because they were mad. They lost to Virginia at home. They also lost their last home game as well. Look, Virginia Tech can be feisty. Okay, you don't just randomly beat Virginia at home. This team also lost and had a pretty good effort against Syracuse as well. It's really a hard game, and this total comes in at 158.5. I kind of like the over a little bit too because I felt like Virginia Tech has a much better offense than people realize. And then you have a Louisville team that comes in this game. They dominated Pittsburgh, who's not a very good offense, but they dominated 100-59. Plus, they lost at home last time too. I'm going to take the over between Virginia Tech and Louisville to the over the 158.5. All right, Craig, Illinois hooking up against Purdue here. Illinois is the number 11th ranked team in the country. Purdue is number 4. Going to be a great game. 16-3, 7-3, 7-1 in the Big Ten. Illinois is. Purdue 17-2, 7-1 in the Big Ten. Purdue coming as a 5.5-point favorite on a total of 152.5. What do you like?
I was for sure going to be playing Illinois. I had it circled. Might have been my game of the year, to be very honest, if Purdue didn't lose at UCLA last time out. Now I'm like, that kind of messed everything up. I just assumed they were going to win. And if they did, I was coming in this spot. I thought I'd get about 5.5 to 6.5, and that's right where the number is. And I would be playing Illinois. I think it's going to be a really, really close game. Now that they lost last time out, there's no way they're overlooking this game. There's no way they don't get up for this. I think you take Purdue minus the number. That's how, handicapping, it's a very fine line on, performance and the numbers and all that kind of goes into it. Sometimes you got to be willing to change. I'm willing to change. I realize now it's not going to be a big play for me for sure, but I like Purdue minus the number. I think it's just they bounce back in a big way. They got caught looking ahead, and a veteran team will play better the next time out, and I think that means they get the win and the cover. Iowa State at Oklahoma State, just week and a half ago, Iowa State was the number 2 team in the country with that unbelievable win at Purdue, and they were undefeated. Then they lose at Kansas. Then they go to face my Bearcats and lose back-to-back games. Now you're getting them as a number 9 ranked team. They're still a 9.5-point favorite here on the road. Total 162.5. What do you like?
It's still a lot of points here for Oklahoma State. And these two teams, the last time they hooked up was Iowa State won 83-71. And guess what? That was just 12 days ago. So you would think that there's a lot of disrespect. Oh, sorry about that. So there's a lot of disrespect, in my opinion, when you think about it, okay? So what happens here? Well, you have one thing I wanted to point out is the fact that you have Iowa State that rolls in. They're 15th ranked in offense, 10th ranked in defense. The 2 games that they lost to was Kansas and Cincinnati, and Oklahoma City kind of has the same build as that. And I love the fact that Iowa State comes off of crushing UCF, which was one of my top plays, because I figure they're coming off back-to-back losses. It kind of makes sense. They have a pretty senior-laden team. Oklahoma State, though, is coached by Steve Lutz. Steve Lutz, if you remember, had a 17-18 team coming over from Western Kentucky. He's 14-5 this year. They come off a road loss to TCU. They've already played this team once, and they were 40. It was 42-40 at the half before Iowa State sort of pulled away. And Iowa State only shot 8 for 22 from 3-point line. Give me the points, man. We're not, I like the points. So I'm going to take the points plus the 9.5 here. All right, Craig, Auburn here on the road against Florida. Auburn 12-7, 3-3 in the SEC. New coach struggling a little bit. Florida 14-5, 5-1 in the SEC. Florida coming in as 11.5-point favorite. Who do you like here?
You kind of got to figure out, Florida is always going to have a target in the back. Obviously, you have the champs, and you lose all those guards last year. So you kind of explain away some of those early kind of season struggles when they were just kind of always the hunted. Now it's kind of settled in now that they're much more familiar with obviously SEC foes, and they've just been murdering teams at times. I mean, they're 9-1 in their last 10 games. They're 6-4 against the spread. I mean, they won by 18 against LSU last time out when they won at Vanderbilt, covered that one by 4. Won by 17 at Oklahoma, won on the road. At home against Tennessee by 1 million. What was that? 24 points. And also beat Georgia in the way. I'm laying the points here. Auburn has not been great on the road this year. I think Florida takes care of business minus 11.5. Florida's just that good at home, I believe. Now, the next game, I think we have 4 or 5 games left here. We got LSU at Arkansas. Arkansas favored by 9.5, total 163.5. This might be the best team we've seen Calipari have in 4, 5, 6 years now. I mean, they're loaded up and down, and they continue to play well. What do you like in this one?
13-6 team facing a 14-5 team here. You have an Arkansas team that won 70-58 last time out. Okay. So what you see here is an Arkansas team that, So LSU comes into this contest, 13-6. Matt McMahon, came over from Murray State. They were 14-8 last year. He really needed to bounce back here. He was going to get fired. Now they're 1-5 in conference play. It's only a matter of time before he gets fired. He's absolutely desperate for a decent effort here. Maybe his guys get up and play. This is a big rivalry. They already lost to Florida on the road by 18 points. They played Vandy tough, though, by 9 points, which I think is something of importance. Look, with Arkansas coming off such a monster win against Vanderbilt, 93-68 because of their road loss to Georgia, I think it makes a lot of sense. LSU is a desperate team, and Arkansas has Oklahoma on deck, too, so they might be looking ahead. Give me LSU plus the 10. All right, Craig, Utah here facing BYU, the battle of Utah, the battle of Mormons, the battle of really nice people out in the West. Utah 9-10 team and 1-5 in the Big 12. BYU 16-2 team, ranked 13th in the country, 4-1 in the Big 12. Massive favorites of 19.5 on a total of 167.5. Who do you like?
They just played a few weeks ago, 5-point game at Utah, and it was nip and tuck throughout. So don't think just because they're on the road, they're not going to be. It's called the Holy War for a reason. These two don't like each other. These two get up to it. Utah will absolutely be in this game. We saw yesterday Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan's favored by 15.5, was never close to covering. I think they won by 10, 11, 12 points. Ohio State easily covered. I think it's very similar in this spot. I think Utah will absolutely get up for this game, and it'll be another close game. Give me Utah plus all the points. 19. I even see some 19.5s out there. So make sure you shop it around. Now, just 3 games left. We got San Francisco at Gonzaga. Gonzaga, big favorite and deserving favorite, minus 17.5, total 152.5, 20-1 on the year. The only loss for Gonzaga was that tournament game where they had played 3 games in 3 days and they got blitzed by Michigan. Other than that, they've taken care of business. What do you like?
Yeah, look, you have a Gonzaga team that is 85 that won 85-76 last time out. This was last year, coming in as a very big chalk here. So bear that in mind. San Francisco comes into this contest with Chris Gulferson. They had a nice win against Washington State, lost against Pepperdine recently at home. They're trying to do well on the road. They did beat Seattle on the road, which is to their credit. They have obviously a massive amount of revenge. They got a pretty senior-laden team. Gonzaga comes in off of a nice win against Pepperdine, 84-60. But Gonzaga's been a little sketchy, right? At times. They beat San Diego on the road by 6. They beat Oregon, who was not that great, by 9. I think San Fran can absolutely hang tough here, and I'm going to take San Francisco, especially with the senior-laden team, plus the 17.5. I think it could be a little too high. All right, Craig, Kansas on the road. Last 2 games here. Kansas on the road against Kansas State. Kansas is ranked 19th in the country. Kansas State is 10-9 and 1-5 in the Big 12. Kansas coming in as a 4.5-point road chalk on a total of 160.5. Who do you like?
Well, news is that Bill Self potentially might be back on the sideline after missing last game. In a really close game that they end up pulling out at Colorado. It's a good bounce back spot, I think, for Kansas. Obviously, you're in Little Manhattan, a Little Apple, as they call it, Manhattan, Kansas, and Kansas State, Kansas. This is a great rivalry going way back. And even when Kansas State wasn't good in years, Kansas State made it tight. I think you take the points in this one. I think Kansas does win, but I think it's one of those 2, 3, 4-point games, maybe last possession type win by Kansas will get us the cover with this nice little spread that we get here at home. Next home underdog. Next game, last game we're covering, Tennessee, Alabama. Good matchup here. Both these teams very equal. Alabama's favored by 5.5, total 167.5. Both of these teams could kind of use a nice quality win here. What do you like?
Yeah, look, Tennessee won 79-55. Or 79-76 last time out. And Tennessee, lost to Kentucky in their most recent contest. Let me take a look here. Yeah, Tennessee lost to Kentucky here 80-78 at home. And, you would think that they could bounce back. The only problem is that whenever Tennessee faces Alabama, they've always beaten them. They've beaten them the last 4 times. Alabama has massive revenge. This is a big rivalry. And obviously you have a coach in Rick Barnes who's been there a long time. He's created a wonderful home there since 2016. He's been there over 10 years. This is a team that lost to Kentucky by 2 at home. They're going to be mad coming in. But Alabama has all the revenge in the world coming in as well. They won at Oklahoma. They beat Mississippi State. They lost at home last time to Texas. I don't see them necessarily losing to Tennessee at home either. So this is a game that Alabama really has to win, having lost to this team 4 straight times. I hate that Tennessee comes off back a loss to Kentucky, but they have lost 3 in a row at one point, Kansas, Syracuse, and Illinois. Alabama's really going to be motivated. It's really hard to beat Nate Oates 5 times in a row. Give me Alabama minus the 6.
All right, so that's what we like as our plays for the ranked games today. Don't forget, if you want to get on our top plays, I'm going to have a 3-pack. One will be a top play plus 2 smaller plays. IC is going to have a play for tonight, top play. All you got to do to get on it, 2 for 1. Get the college basketball pass right here, just $99. You'll get a week of plays from each of us. So today's 4 plays plus 6 more days for just $99. DocSports.com/Craig Arun. Good luck. Don't forget, check out our NBA, college football, all that, or NFL, and the NHL, all of our rundowns every day.